Hello everyone. Here we go. I'm finally done with the prep. Oh my god, I have two cats that are running about. They're being crazy. They're being crazy about it. I switched up my apron today, crazily enough. Though to be fair, I do think the other apron is probably better. Or like, at least that one I have like the right kind of like size, or like not size, but like you can like customize the neck tie thingies on these, and that one I have like perfectly customized. Anyways, let's get to it, shall we? I have two cats that are both very interested to see what we're doing today. It's actually nothing super advanced today. Today is actually very, very simple. Very simple. I have this thing that I saved from Mars. Got it away. I have that bone of dried reindeer meat that I saved from last time. And I also have, oh god, let's see. And I also have this ham. So this is a Christmas ham. I'm going to create it. I'm going to make it into a Swedish Christmas ham. It will make sense. It's pretty simple, really. I usually, like, you can buy these raw or like salted, brined, and just like cook them yourself, like boil them and stuff like that. But I've decided to. I'm usually too lazy to do that, so I usually buy a pre-boiled one because I can't be bothered. And the only thing we do in Sweden is like we kind of. So in Swedish it's called grillera. I kind of don't know how to translate it. It's a weird thing. It's like we're basically going to cook the outside. Oh no, my cat is being a menace. Hey, what? Come here. Mash. There we go. He's trying to. I think he smelled the ham. Like when I opened it, he was like, "That smells fucking amazing." And he has wanted to be part of everything that ever existed. Anyways, I'm just gonna take out the ham and we're gonna prepare it in the traditional Swedish way. It's very, very simple to do if you have a pre-boiled ham. You can be fancy about it, do it like a little bit extra special if you really want to. I usually don't because I like kind of the classic way to do it. It's very simple to do, and oh my god, he's covered in fucking. He just gets so close that he gets covered in the fucking like, the like gelatin juices of the ham. It's actually insane. He just refuses to leave me alone. Anyways, we're gonna do this the classical Swedish way. We're just gonna remove this net here. So why I want to do this, I've been thinking about doing this several weeks now because I really do enjoy. Fucking hello. Hey. I really do enjoy Christmas ham. It's so good on bread and stuff. But it's also a little bit of a, like, it's not a pain to do. It's actually very, very simple. But I've just been too lazy to do it. Basically, I actually don't have any reason other than me being lazy. God, this. So what I like to do is, because obviously when you buy this, you get like the entire freaking, like the entire, like the skin and everything on this that's been boiled, and we don't want that. That's not super nice. That's like kind of meh. So I usually try to get rid of that kind of smoothly. God, this is really stuck in there, huh? There we go. We got rid of it. We have some like string left. Let's like remove all of that. There might be some residue string that we do not want to eat. Okay, but yeah, you see this like kind of skin part here? This thing we want to remove. I'm gonna take off my gloves and blow my nose because, as per usual, whenever I start cooking, my just nose starts to dribble with snot. Oh god, I don't know why. It's like there is a trigger in me for when I start talking. I start like dribbling snot. It's crazy. Anyways, let's get to this. We're gonna remove that skin and most of the fat, mostly because I want to try and keep it healthy, right? And this is surprisingly, I did look it up, kind of like calorie-wise, this isn't too bad. I mean, it is just ham, so I mean, it shouldn't be too bad, right? There's not a lot of fat in it most of the time. Hello! Mars refuses to give up, per usual. Okay, here we go. Let's start removing this. I think maybe it's the best. Oh, maybe I can. If I'm lucky, I can just like get my hand in there and pull off most of this. Oh yeah, it seems like it's gonna work. Oh hell yeah! Here we go. Smoothest way to remove the skin. There we go. And that's mostly fat in there as well. It's just skin and fat, basically. So that's great. Boom. Remove that one. Now we're going to just cut away some of the extra fat that's on the outside here. Now, as I said, this is a very traditional thing. Usually this is on every like Christmas dinner in Sweden. Very traditional, as I said. Mash. Extremely traditional. And it's one of my favorites during Christmas. I will be honest. This is one of my favorite things. Mostly because it's like, it's very simple. You can like combine this with kind of anything. It works with like bread, potatoes, any sort of like condiment. Plus it's great for like if you just want a snack, you can just like take a little bit of this. Just put it on, just like butter up a sandwich, put on some of this, and then it's basically done. And you're done. Boom. But yeah, as I said, we're going to try and remove as much fat as possible, but we don't want to remove all of it. All the fat would be a little bit too aggressive, but most of it. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Here we go. Oh yeah, there's not a lot of fat here. I think we got like most of the fat that was underneath the skin just by ripping it off like that. That was actually a great way to do it. Usually you don't get such a nice piece that you can just get your hand under the skin like that. So that's great. Mash, I see you. Nah. Oh yeah, I need to turn on my oven as well. We should turn it to 225 degrees Celsius. There we go. I think I'm gonna remove this like kind of like protruding thing. Mostly just because it's like ugly. Oh, there was a lot of fat in there actually. I thought it was like pure meat, but that's a lot of fat. But the best thing about this is that you can like eat it as is. Really. I mean, this is already cooked. I'm just like doing the Christmassy preparation that we usually do, that we traditionally do. I think that's fine. It looks kind of ugly, but I don't really care. We're gonna cover most of this anyways in breading. So this is where we get to the weird part about this. Or it's not that weird. It does make it quite a lot yummier. Nay. Mars is on the prowl. He wants the meat. but I'm gonna throw it away so he can't steal it. I'm just gonna throw it away. I mean, it's just fat anyways, plus it's salted, so he shouldn't really be eating it. Like, super salty stuff is not good for cat. Did you know that, Mars? If you didn't, I will educate you now. Super salty equals bad for you. Your body, very tiny, can't handle super salty. I hope that he understands my, like, baby language. I'm speaking with him. I feel like it's pretty direct. There we go. Let me clean up all the waste here, so I don't have to care that much about the cat trying to steal my shit. Well, steal what I consider shit. For him, it's probably the yummiest thing that ever existed on this planet. There we go. Okay. So, what I was planning to do, this is basically the extent of the prep you actually need to do for this. Other than this, it's like, we're basically like done. I'm gonna cut away some of the fat from the, maybe I won't, because this is really, really dry now. I've left this in my fridge for like 1 or 2 weeks. And that's fine, because it is dried and smoked and brined. So it will survive, but it is now very, very hard. Which is not the worst. Like, I'm just gonna put this in the oven and just like eat the meat that I can. Mostly because I need to get rid of it. So that's why I'm doing that. I'm just gonna put this basically where, on our little thing here. The thingamabob. See that? That's where we're going to be cooking everything. Let's see. I need to put in some stuff to have my stuff on. And now we're ready for the next step. Oh God. We're ready for the next step, I say, as I blow my nose right into your ears. Okay. So, what we want to do, I think, is I'm gonna do I have never done this way. So this is gonna be different. A little, like, it's not massive. It's not a massive difference, really. It's like, just a little bit different. Just a smidge. Okay, we're gonna make a, so as I said, this is grillering. It's a weird thing in Sweden. I actually don't know, as I said, I don't know how to translate it. I'm just gonna call it what it is in Swedish. And hopefully that'll make sense. All right, I already took everything out. So what we need is 1 egg. I don't think we need more than 1 egg. I was considering if we needed more. I don't think so. I think 1 egg is definitely enough. And we need some mustard. Usually we have some Swedish mustard for this, but I couldn't be bothered buying some just for this. So I went with some Dijon mustard. It's gonna have a stronger taste, but I don't really mind that. That sounds fine to me. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna crack the egg in here. Boom, that's a pretty big egg. That should be enough. I have a hard time believing that we need 2 eggs for this. Then we're gonna add some Dijon. Not a massive amount, since Dijon is pretty strong. Maybe like 1 spoon, maybe a little bit more. There we go, because I do like the Dijon flavor. There we go. And we could add more stuff to this. Like, if you are inspired, you can add more stuff to this to make it more tasty. I'm just gonna add 1 more thing. That is a little bit of sugar. Where do we have it? We have some sugar right here. Here we go. And just a smidge, just a tiny bit. There we go. Something like that. Just a tiny bit of sugar. And the reason why is because we want it to caramelize a little bit. Now we just take this and just like mix it. We can mix it with our, we're going to use this I was about to say pencil, that's not the right word. This brush to brush this mixture on top of this ham. Now there's one thing I need to prep before we do this. I'm just like mixing this together a little bit so it becomes homogeneous. We're gonna prepare the breading that we're gonna use for this. Because obviously you can't do this without breading, as the Swedish tradition. And I do have some leftover breading here from when I was like experimenting with random shit. So I'm just gonna use that, and I'm gonna use, so this is panko breading that I have here. We have some panko breading, and then I'm gonna use some regular God, what is the name of this? Ströbröd. God. There we go. Extra over here on the side that we can like put on it. Because like, as I said, this is just gonna need kind of weird thing. Just a smidge. A little bit of honey. There we go. Let's mix that in. Mix that up with the egg and everything else. So I'm gonna show you now kind of what we're gonna be doing here. This is gonna be messy. This is usually pretty messy. So I'm probably gonna bring myself a glove for this, because we're gonna need to lift the ham and stuff. There we go, that should be homogeneous enough. Let's take some gloves, because gloves always make stuff easier. Those are the rules. But yeah, as I said, super easy. This is actually like super easy. I'm just gonna take this and we're going to just like kind of like paint this thing. Paint it black. Black as night. Black as the sun. So the point of this is to give a little bit of flavor to the outside of the ham, and also to make it so that the breading sticks to it, right? That's like the main reason you do this. And let's see, we need to get the underside as well, the belly, le belly. I want to see the sun blotted out from the sky. I want to see it painted, 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 painted black. Yeah. Now, obviously, you can buy this like pre-made. I've been doing it for like a couple of weeks now. But it's always nice making it yourself. Plus, this is way cheaper, usually. It costs quite a bit to buy this like pre-sliced and pre-made. So it's like usually just better to get it. Get one and make it yourself. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna take off my gloves, because if we know anything about this sort of thing, never mix wet and dry ingredients unless you have to. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna show you actually. I'm gonna show you. We're just gonna put all the like breading on top of this. Just try and make a breading mountain. Basically, we're just breading this ham. We're basically breading the ham. The gist of it is we're breading the ham. Now, I'm gonna grab some gloves again so we can like move it kind of smoothly without having to get dirty hands. I need to get more gloves. I'm starting to, like, I'm not running out just yet, but I have been using a lot of them. Gloves just make everything more easy. Everything becomes easier with gloves. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to cover at least most of the sides of this. There we go. Let's lift it up and flip it a little bit so we can like focus on this side instead. As I said, like, I've never done this with panko. I think it's probably fine, but I do think it's going to be maybe a little bit different. Maybe it becomes a little bit more crispy. I don't know. I would hope. That's what I'm hoping for at least. There we go. And it's done. I'm gonna lift it over here. I have the like thing to the side here. I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna take these off, and we're gonna throw away this breading and the rest of the egg mixture. We don't really need this anymore because this is like literally the entire process. We have done the entire thing now. That is everything that we need to do to prepare this. Now it just needs to go into the oven, and there are some time frames you usually kind of want to go for, but also what's most important here is that it gets a color that you like, right? That's the most important part. There we go. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So we're gonna put this in. We'll go by, basically the only thing we'll go by is when the ham looks done. I'm assuming this like reindeer meat is gonna be fine. Let's just go. We're doing it. I'm doing it, Ma. There we go. Put that in. And now we're done with the first part of the stream. After this, there's only one more thing to do. Or like, we're gonna make the lunch boxes. But the lunch boxes today are pretty simple. I kept them simple for a reason, because this is actually a really cheap recipe, and it's also very, very simple to make, because I kind of didn't feel like doing something super duper advanced today. I'm just gonna wash up here so you guys can look at the stove. It's fine. You guys don't want to see me wash up my knife and stuff. Now, what's really nice about this recipe is that, as I said, it's super simple. This is basically a two... I mean, it could technically be a one-pot recipe. It could technically be, depending on how you want to do it. But how I usually do it, it's a two-pot recipe. Because I boil pasta as well, like on the side, rather than in the sauce. Now, this is going to be a... I don't know, some people might hate this. Some people might think this is disgusting. But I've kind of grown up with this recipe. So I guess that's why I find it acceptable. I guess we'll see what you guys think. There you go. Let me turn you guys around so we can get the ingredients out. So, what we want to do, because this is such an easy recipe, we're actually going to start with preparing some hot water for the pasta. Preparing pasta water is our first goal here. I'm just gonna get this, put a bunch of water in it. There we go, that should be good enough. Let's get that boiling. Oh yeah, I almost ran out of salt last time. I remember now. Luckily, I was smart enough to actually buy more salt. We're gonna refill this real quick. There we go. And we have our salt refiller. Boom. That's good enough. There we go. We have our salt refilled. Let's make sure that it's on properly, because that can become pure chaos if it's not. Make sure the water that you're cooking your pasta in is salted properly. Having boring pasta is not the worst, but it is boring. Anyways, let's bring out the stuff that we're gonna be cooking for real. The actual dish here. And I don't know if I need a bigger pot. God, this is always my question. I feel like, do I need a bigger pot? Who knows? Maybe I do need to get to like one more bigger like pot, like the one that I'm using for the pasta now. Maybe that is the way that I need to go, since I'm like every time questioning if I need a bigger pot. I think this should be enough. We will see. Okay, so what we're doing today is, as I said, we're making a pasta dish which uses tuna and mackerel. So this is like a shit ton of tuna, a bunch of mackerel, and I mean, that's about it. That's the dish. We're gonna add some garlic as well, just to add a little bit more spice to my life. And as per usual, when I am skeptical about what I'm doing, I got some soybeans as well that we're gonna be having. So this is basically gonna be our recipe here. It's very simple. I'll say that this is a really simple recipe, which is not the worst. I mean, simple recipes are kind of good to some degree, sometimes. Anyways, we're gonna start with the mackerel because there is a reason for it. The mackerel needs to, or no, we should start with the tuna actually, now that I think about it. When I consider, I reconsider. Okay. Sadly, these tunas that are, like, these are the cheapest fucking tuna you can find, by the way, here in Sweden, like canned tuna. It's tuna in water, and I'm gonna need to open these by hand, which kind of sucks. I don't remember if I've done this recipe on stream. I don't think so. I'm unsure. Yeah, I don't think I've done it on stream. But this is a pretty simple recipe. Pretty simple. You just get this like weird ass tuna mixture. And we want to drain it of water. Now, like if I were a little bit more high class, I would have gotten a different kind of tuna, because this tuna is like, this is like not even like some, like most of the time when you get this kind of tuna, it is in like, it's at least has some degree of like consistency. But here with this one, this is like super cheap. This is like literally as like a mash of tuna. Right? You would die from this, Nick. You would die. No, this is like a nice dish. I remember like both my dad and my mom used to make this. So it's like, I don't know who taught them that, but I guess someone. You embrace it. I mean, just look at this. It looks disgusting, but it is, when you mix it together, it actually becomes quite enjoyable. It is not the worst thing in the world when you mix it. I'll say that. It's not the worst thing. But the reason why we want to open tuna first is because we want to try and get rid of most of the liquid from the tuna. We don't want the liquidy sauce. That's the worst. Well, it's not the worst, but it's... I prefer thick sauce. Thick sauce is best sauce. Now, other than this, obviously, we have mackerel, and we're also going to have crème fraîche. Crème fraîche? How do you say that in English? I don't know. I know it's supposed to be the same in English, but I am skeptical at this point. But yeah, we're going to have that to add a little bit of acidity to this, and also just make the sauce a little bit more saucy. Hello, mash. Let's see here. But yeah, as I said, we're gonna have to like open all of these, make sure that the tuna gets to hang out a little bit. Yeah, this is like, maybe I should have gotten the... I know I've thought about this several times when I made this dish. Because I make this dish not super often, because obviously I haven't made it live on stream yet. But whenever I make it, I get this tuna because I'm like, God, that's so much cheaper. And then I remember why it's so much cheaper. It's because it's shit. It's because it's like literally like tuna paste rather than like tuna pieces. So Do not get this like cheap ass Coop Extra tuna. There's nothing wrong with it flavor wise, but like, goddamn, consistency wise, it's not the best. Mash, I see you over there. But yeah, this is gonna be what I'm gonna be eating. So it's actually crazy. This is the first time in a long while that I've made 2 fish dishes in a row. Usually I don't eat that much fish. I think I've said that several times. But like, for some reason, or like, the reason now was because I was like, okay, I want to save some money. This month has been intense, so I'm gonna try and like save a little bit of cash by making some cheap food. And turns out, tuna in can, pretty cheap comparatively. Though to be fair, I did compare to, let's say, if I were to make chicken, and I do actually think if I got the like cheapest chicken breasts that I could, I had this, it probably would have been cheaper, but it wasn't by much. It was like maybe 10 crowns, something like that. It wasn't a massive difference, to be fair. And this is way easier and quicker to do. This is one of my... This is probably the fastest recipe that I like know when it comes to like doing meal prep. It's very, very quick. Like usually when my family does this, they don't have obviously this much tuna. Usually you have like 3 cans of tuna and 3 cans of mackerel. But now we're making high protein and we're making 10 portions. So there's going to be 6 cans of mackerel and 9 cans of tuna. Also because tuna is just like great protein. It's a protein life hack. That and chicken is like, I think those are some of the like best proteins. Like if you're looking protein to calorie ratio, in that sense at least. And quality wise, that's a different story. Like the quality of the protein, because apparently that's a thing as well. I've learned quite recently. Well, I haven't learned recently, but I didn't think about it before, right? It makes a lot of sense that there are different types of protein, like different qualities, rather. That just makes a lot of sense to me. But I've never really thought about it in that sense, I guess. So I guess I learned. Anyways, luckily enough, I have already eaten today. So I'm not stressed about cooking this. What I am stressed about, though, is this cat trying to invade my privacy every time I look away. He's like a little fucking... I don't even know. I don't even know what I would compare him to, but he is annoying. He usually like gives up after a little bit, but like now he's like, nah, fam. I smell that tuna and I want it. I have given them tuna like once or twice, and they do freaking love it. So it makes sense that they want to like try and get a taste when I'm cooking. It just makes sense. But yeah, this is about 945 grams. It should be if like the tins are correct in the weight. 945 grams of protein, or not protein, tuna. And then it's about, with the tomato sauce and the mackerel, it's about it's 750 grams. So we're kind of similarly like the amount of fish and stuff. We're on the kind of same amount. I've had this realization that I might be going a little bit overboard with the protein nowadays. Like I like having about between 40 and 50 grams of protein in each portion, but that is kind of difficult sometimes. Well, it's not difficult. You just need a shit ton of protein. So, like, to be fair, getting that much protein can be a pain in the ass a lot of the time. Okay. We are finally done with opening the freaking tuna, so we can throw these away now. I'm gonna have to empty my trash can again. I just did it today. Okay, I'm shaking the tuna a little bit just to like speed up the process of getting out the liquid. It's kind of like when you're trying to get the liquid out of prawns as well. You kind of do the same thing. Okay, so our water is boiling. We have some boiling water. That's not the right one. So we're gonna get our pasta in there. We're just going with regular fusilli. Because, I mean, let's be honest, it doesn't really matter what kind. Preferably for this kind of dish, though, you want a pasta that can like pick up sauce, because this is a saucy dish. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of like in those kind of things. There's not a lot of protein. Luckily, like my app, the app that I use count everything for me, which is I'm so grateful for that app. If I didn't, I'm gonna be honest, that app has enabled me to actually like if I didn't have that app, I would never have lost as much weight. That app is fucking godsend. But yeah, I mean the protein in. Let's actually have a look. This is 500 grams of pasta, right? Protein-wise, 500 grams. It's 13 grams of protein in 500 grams of pasta. So it's basically nothing. It's not a lot. You kind of don't really need to care about it in that sort of sense, I guess. I'm going to have a little look here. Okay. We are getting there slowly with the ham. We're getting there with the ham. Okay, we're going to keep going with the fishes. Our fishy business. Now this one is where I actually need a fork, probably. Because we're going to be crushing up these mackerel fillets. Boom. And we're just putting these in. I'll put this. Oop. My pasta is boiling over a little bit. That's to be expected, let's be honest. I'm just going to pull this one a little bit closer, though, so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of water and just like try and get all the tomato sauce out, because this is basically most of the flavor here. Maybe I don't need the lid anymore, actually, now that I think about it. Probably don't. That's what's causing this to boil over. So, there we go. $14 grams. Oh yeah, sorry, per 100. Sorry, I said it wrong. It is true. It was 13 grams per 100 gram. Yeah, per 100 gram. So it's like, it's an okay amount, but like, comparatively, if you compare it to chicken, stuff like that, it's like, no contest. Mash. Oh. Yeah, but though, to be fair, they are like, you don't add pasta for the protein, right? You add pasta for the calories, a little bit of carbohydrates. Well, mostly carbohydrates, right? But you want it for the calories. At least that's what I think. Yeah, chicken is really, really high. I don't remember the exact amount, but it is something like that. It is like bizarrely high. And that is because there's like basically no fat in it, right? It's also super low calorie. It's like, I think calorie amount, it's like almost 100 calorie. 100. It's almost 100 calories per 100 gram, I think. Like it's close to that. One chicken breast is 31 grams. Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty probable. I think it might be like 20 something per 100 grams then maybe. I'm not sure. It kind of depends on the size of your chicken breasts, right? Okay, we're getting there with the mackerel. I mean, is a chicken breast really 100 gram? I have a hard time believing that. I think most chicken breasts that you buy, at least when you buy them frozen, are like 250 maybe, something like that. It depends on like if you buy them frozen or fresh, and like the producer as well, right? Mars, sluta. Hallå. Ah, I see. Yeah. I see. That makes sense. That do make sense. Though, to be fair, I was kind of shocked that chicken thighs are like also very close to that. Like chicken thighs is a little bit more fat, but it is also extremely protein heavy. So, I mean, if you want to go with chicken thighs, that's also fine in most dishes. Because it has kind of the same, it has a little bit more calorie, kind of the same protein, almost. It's very close, at least. God, now we just need to mash this up, kind of into like smaller pieces. Mash my krill into pieces. This is my last resort. Yeah, this is like the base of the sauce, right? The tomato sauce from the mackerel, and then the creme fraiche is going to be like all the sauce that we have. We might add some water to it, depending on the consistency. And then we're gonna add some garlic. I'm just gonna probably might use some confit garlic. No, I'll use regular. Confit garlic is, I like the idea of confit garlic, but it is like, comparatively to regular garlic, it's just so unhealthy. It's like very hard to argue why you would use confit, like if you're trying to do a healthy dish, because it has like a little bit of a different taste, but it's not massive. I think the biggest value of confiting garlic is you can have it for longer, basically. Like the shelf life becomes quite a lot longer if you confit it. Confit. Oh yeah, this is literally just kill Nick dish. This is actually like, you would not I think the only part you would be able to eat is the pasta, and yep, that's about it actually. The pasta probably. Okay, I just remembered that I had stuff in the oven, so I need to take that out now, I think. Like, it's not burnt, I kind of forgot about it. No, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a rebel. I'm gonna take out this motherfucker, because this one is done. That is done. So we're gonna leave that one there. There we go. Okay, so there are some things that are kind of important to note when you're making this dish. And that is, one of the problems that usually occur is tuna can have kind of a metallic taste to it a lot of times. So we're going to try and counteract that with a little bit of sweetness. We're going to add a little bit of sugar. A little bit of sugar. A little bit of sugar, just a smidge. There we go. And a little bit of honey as well. But as I said, this is like a very tiny amount, just to balance out the kind of like metallic taste you can get from the tuna. There we go. That should be about it. Should be able to start boiling this, or like heating it up. Because like everything's cooked already, right? So we don't technically need to cook this. What we do want to cook though is the garlic. We're gonna have like, not a lot. Like this isn't a dish that needs a bizarre amount of garlic. I'm gonna add like 3 cloves maybe. 3 cloves of garlic should be enough. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. I mean, it wasn't even a lot. It was less than a tablespoon. Well, it's kind of the same when you're using crushed tomatoes, right? They can also have kind of this metallic taste to them sometimes. So adding a little bit of sweetness actually kind of negates that flavor a little bit. Hot tip if you're cooking anything with tomato in the near future. Like I always have a little bit of sugar in my köttfärs sauce. I was about to say ragu, but it's not a ragu. It's not a bolognese either. I guess you could call it that, I guess, if you want to. But yeah, usually they can have a little bit of a metallic taste depending on the quality you're buying. So that's why I usually like to... Oh, this one was like kind of a little bit fucky-wuckied. Yeah, I'm throwing that away. We're doing 2 cloves of garlic. I'm going to cut these in the middle because it looks like they are a little bit too big. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. And I'm going to turn you guys around so you can see what I'm doing here. We might actually move you guys entirely to this side. Weep. Wee. There we go. I think that's a better spot for you. You can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Oh shit, I missed your message when I updated. Oh fuck. Oh yeah, are you up for some ARAM mayhem after this, Mr. Nick? You want to try some ARAM mayhem again? They have updated it, I think. Made some new stuff. There we go. This is already starting to like kind of do its thing. I'm just gonna mix it a little bit to incorporate the garlic and let that cook. While that is happening, I'm going to try to clean this garlic press out. Mars did a jump. He did a big jump. Ooh, I am wondering, do I want to add some spice to this? Is that the correct choice here? Is that the way to do it? Do I want to add some spicy spice? I can remove the fork now. We're gonna add in the tuna as well. Whoop. This is a massive block of tuna. Beautiful, lovely. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. And as you can see, the tuna is like, consistency-wise, this doesn't really have a consistency. It's just like fucking mush at this point. So we can easily mix it into this. Now the only thing we need that's left to do is add the creme fraiche and also the soybeans. And then we're basically there. We're done. All right, I need to have a look at the pasta. I think the pasta is getting there, actually. Pasta is done. Pasta is done. So I'm gonna pour this out. Pour one out for the homies. Might have actually been a little bit overdone, but I think it's okay. It's like, it's not mushy. It's just not al dente. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. Okay. Here we go. So we're just gonna scrape off all the goodiness in this. Throw it onto here. And pour in the creme fraiche. And as I said, this is just to add a little bit more sauce and to give a little bit of acidity to this. Like, acidity is maybe the wrong word for it, but creaminess and a little bit of a sour taste. Because this is basically sour cream, right? There we go. Beautiful, lovely. And we just want to get that to kind of, maybe not even boiling, really. We just want to heat that up. There we go. Now we just incorporate this. Need to turn this down. It's a little bit too hot. My pan is a little bit too hot. Let's mix this in here. Make sure that it's nicely incorporated. And we'll probably have to add some water now that I'm looking at it. But we're gonna add the soybeans first and see where we go from there. Oh, because these are a little bit frozen still, so they might just like kind of do it for me. But yeah, this is a weird dish. I'll actually say that this is kind of a weird dish. But it is not the worst dish, I would say. Yeah, we definitely need more liquid, I think. And I kind of want to add some sort of flavor to this. I'm not sure what, though. We'll definitely need more salt and some pepper. I think we'll start with that and see where this goes. Just a little bit of salt. I do think that the tuna and the mackerel are usually pretty salty. And then we'll do white pepper for this, I think. This feels like more of a white pepper dish. There we go, a little bit of that. A little bit of Jessica in the sun. Now, as I said, this is like super cheap weekday food. Really easy to make. Just need a bunch of like pre-made stuff. Oh, right. The ham. Oh, yeah, that's actually perfect. I got a little bit worried that it would be a little bit too much. But I actually think that's perfect. Have a look. That is my ham. Looking pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do, obviously I need to slice that up, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that cool in the fridge during the night. And tomorrow I'm probably going to take it to... I'm going to go and visit my mom. And she has a slicing machine, so I'm going to borrow that. So that's what I'll probably do tomorrow to set it up properly. But right now we need to let it cool down a little bit. Oh. Yep, not surprised. Okay, maybe I did let out a little bit too much Oh yeah, it's actually very smoky in here, I just realized. I might just... Maybe it's fine. That might be fine, actually. I'll just leave the share there in case. But my fire alarm went off when I took out the ham because like there was a lot of smoke coming from inside the oven. I don't understand why though. I don't feel like I burned anything in there. Like there was a little bit of fat on the bottom of the pan that got a little bit burned, I guess. I don't know. I personally don't feel like I burned anything. I'm gonna turn up the fan though to like super high so I can try and like remove some of the smoke that's been appearing. I didn't even realize how smoky it was until I looked towards my my living room. I was like, God damn, that's a lot of smoke. Okay, let's have a taste of this, shall we? Let's see what it tastes like for now. Okay, we're getting there. We're gonna need something though. Something is missing. I'm going to be a psychopath. Right now, I'm just gonna start winging it at this point. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a psychopath and add some sambal. Just like 2 little spoons full. That should be good. And then I think I also want... Now that I think about it, I actually know what I need to do, I think. I'm gonna add some oyster sauce, because what's missing really is like depth of flavor, kind of. So we're gonna add some oyster sauce. And maybe a little bit of... a little bit of fish sauce, too, I guess. Just a little bit. There we go. That should bring in some extra flavor that we want. Because like flavor-wise, it was kind of boring. That was like a big issue. But this should help quite a lot. That should give it some heat, and the oyster sauce and the fish sauce should bring up some nice little umami flavor. I might add some... I'll add some MSG. Fuck it. We're going all in. Just a little bit, though. A little bit of MSG in the sun. We can lower the fan now. There we go. I think we're getting there flavor-wise, probably. Whew. Bless me, I guess. Oh yeah, that is so much better. Immediately. I think the heat could be even more, but I don't think... No, it has like a little bit, like a slight heat to it, and I think that's actually perfect. Yeah, this is actually getting there. We're gonna get it to boil a little bit, but after that, I think we're kind of done with this. I'm gonna start prepping to plate everything, or like get it into my lunch boxes. So there's going to be 10 of them. We're going to need to use the small ones, which I don't really like, but it'll be fine, probably. It'll probably be fine. There we go. I'm going to try and like rip off a piece of the meat of this thing. I'll probably actually need a like knife. Maybe not. Okay. There we go. I think this is hot enough now. Let's take another bite of meat here. This was actually really good. It is very chewy, but it also is very, very nice. Okay. Let's see if I can find a place for you guys to see this. Is that a good spot? Maybe. I think so. That's fine. Okay, so we'll start with the pasta. Should still be like kind of malleable. Here we go. There we go, 10 of them. So I have some extra now that I can like portion out a little bit carefully. Yeah, the pasta is definitely a little bit overcooked. I can tell that like consistency-wise, it's not really exactly what I want, but it's okay. It's not the worst. Okay. Oh god. There we go. Let's continue with the actual sauce then. And here we can take like a big spoonful. I'm kind of surprised, though, to be fair, that this dish actually has like 40, I think it was 44 grams of protein. I'm kind of surprised, all things considered, because like Doesn't feel like there's that much protein in it. Like, I've definitely had more filled lunch boxes, right? There we go. We have the first scoop in everyone. So let's start with the second. Second scooping. Oh yeah, Nick, did you see that they, if you're still here, did you see that they released a new update for DLC for Night Rain? They released two new characters and a bunch of new bosses. One which I'm like actually really excited about. They released Artorias as a boss, which is real freaking cool. He's a cool guy. I'm gonna put a little bit extra in the bigger ones, mostly because I know that they can handle it, like size-wise. There we go. That's it. We're done. We did it. Yeah. They, I think it was pretty recent. Maybe it was November. I'm not sure exactly when it was released, but pretty recent, which is very cool. Very cool. I am a little bit excited to try Night Rain again, especially now that they have a duo mode and stuff. So I'd be up for playing that a little bit as well at some point. Maybe not now, but some other time when we both have time. There we go. Let me just package these guys up. Yeah, so I think they added two new Nightfarers and two new bosses. I'm not sure. I think that was it. Okay, let's get these in the fridge. A little bit of Jessica in the sun. A little bit of Rita in the sun. There we go. So we got these guys packed up and ready to go. That was actually like surprisingly painless. I mean, to be fair, I didn't expect this to take long. This is a very, like, I've made this several times. I know how long it usually takes. So I'm not super surprised that it went this smoothly, but still. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. Oh yeah, you wanna try and get to master rank, or? For some reason, I got kind of excited about the solo leveling game. That looks kind of interesting as well. I don't know if it's a gacha game or whatever, but if it's not a gacha game, it could be really fun. Like if it's an actual RPG game, or like Monster Hunter style game. I can see it being a gacha though, with like you unlocking different summons and stuff. Okay, I think we're done for today. I'm gonna clean up a little bit real quick, and then I'll jump on League so we can play some League. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.